Hi guys, James here, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's having a great day. In today's video guys, I am going to be playing with two of my older palettes. We have one from Glaminatrix. This is actually the only one that I own from Glaminatrix. This is the Glaminatrix Cosmetics Pretty in Pastel palette. And I did do a video when this first got released. I will link it down below. No one watched it. But there you go, that's that palette. And then we have this one here, which is from Beauty Bay. This is the Smoky Smoke Smoke palette. And this is just one of my favorite palettes of all time. It's stunning. Look at all the colors, all the shimmers. It's beautiful. It's a grey, cool tone palette. And I wanted this for ages and it was sold out, but I finally managed to get it. And I actually got it with my try points on Beauty Bay. So this £42 or 42 color palette, which retails for $45 Australian, was free. So I'm very excited about that. I have had it for almost a year in my collection, and I have done multiple looks with it, and I've also done lots of looks with just using some of the shimmers or just the mattes out of this palette. So I have used this palette to complete other looks as well, but this is one of my favorite palettes. But I thought I would do a cool tone brown smoky outer corner, and then I'll go in with this Glaminatrix palette and add some color from these shimmers here. So that is today's video. I hope you enjoy these types of videos. I am trying to do better with my videos. Now, as you can see, I've already done my base. For blush, I went in with the Kind Collective little pink blush Moment. This is one of my favorite. I do have the peach version and now this pink one as well. So you've got like a highlighter moment and then the actual blush moment. Now, I know you're probably thinking this is probably the wrong shade of blush for this look, and I agree, but I don't have any right shade of blush for this look, so I just thought I would do a soft pink. I normally do a lot more blush, but I thought I'd do soft pink today, and we'll just call that a day. And then for bronzer, I went in with this Australis Fresh and Flawless Pressed Powder Bronzer. I did use this on my TikTok live to do my base, which is what I normally do, and it's very, very powdery. As you can see, it's quite dark. It does blend quite nicely, but super messy. This is the one-time use, and it's all around the edge, everywhere. It's annoying because this is a drugstore palette, so the way they seal this is they tape the whole entire sides, and the sides are all sticky from where the tape is, and now the bronzer's stuck onto that, which is just, it's transferring on my fingers every time I touch it. But I know in the future all of this stickiness will just be covered in bronzer from this. But it blended out nicely. It was $11. I'm like, you know what, let's try it. I like it. I probably went a little dark on the neck because I'm trying to maybe compensate for my tensions and try and hide some of them with the bronzer, but that's left quite a dark line around my jawline. But anyway, we're just going to continue. So that's those two products. Then for highlighter, I went in with this glowy highlighter, this shade here, which is, well, it doesn't, I guess it's light shade. So it's light and medium sculpt little palette from Revolution. I went in with the light shade just for a little bit of highlighter on the cheeks. I did use this in my last video. And then for everything else, I just use my normal base routine. I use my W7 concealer. I've got my Revlon foundation, and then setting powder. I went in with my Center of Attention setting powder, the Slay All Day one. I love that. So that is what I used on my base. So now that you're caught up with everything I've used on my face, let's get straight into the video. We're going to go in with the Beauty Bay palette first. I usually always start with my outer edge on my eyes and then work my way in. So that's what we're doing today. It's a big palette, so I'm not going to hold it up. It's just going to be too much. So we're going to go in with my fluffy Morphe brush that I love to use. And I think I'm going to go in with this light shade Castle, which I've used quite a lot. I'm going to show you the first shade I'm going to use. This is the Gunmetal shade Castle. It's like a bluish grey gunmetal, and I love it. So we're going to apply that on the outer edge first, and then we'll darken it up with the shade Thunder or Tuxedo, one of the two, but I'll show you those shades in a second. But for now, we'll just start on the outer edge with that lighter shade Castle. Now, I hope you guys are all having a great day. I'm currently filming this on a Wednesday, and it is still quite loud next door. They're building, and I think they're getting ready to lay the concrete slab down, but I think they're putting the pipe work and all the gas fittings and stuff first. So they've dug all the trenches next door, and they've cleared all the trees and stuff that were there, and now they're just cutting pipes and getting all the pipe work done before they pour the concrete. So usually you see all the pipe work sticking out of the ground, and then they work around that. So I think that's what they're doing today, because there's a lot of like grinding and stuff like that going on next door, so you'll probably hear that in the background. I do apologize about that, but it's just something I'm going to have to overcome, like we all have to do in this YouTube community of ours. Oh, sorry, getting a little thirsty. I kind of want to talk about some new makeup launches, because I thought, why not talk about them when I'm doing this eye look. Not doing a whole like new release makeup video, but I just thought I would talk about some of them. And the first one I want to talk about is Manny MUA's or Lunar Beauty's holiday launch. Now I talked to my friend Lottie, who I've mentioned here quite a lot. We've talked about this because when new launches, especially from Lunar Beauty or P.Louise or Blend Bunny, we actually send the launches to each other and have a discussion. And we both thought that this launch is kind of boring. In the holiday collection, there are two 9-pan palettes. So they are magnetic, so they stick together from the back. So you can go traveling with them and stuff like that. One of them is a daytime wear look palette, and then the other one is more of a like nighttime look palette. So more of a smoky, darker palette. Well, that's what I thought it was going to be anyway. What they ended up being is two very neutral palettes that everybody has in their collection. I will put the video of the actual palettes up and photos of the actual palettes. They are launched already on TikTok Live. He did a live and they all launched. And it's kind of a letdown when I saw the palettes, because first of all, he's got two neutral palettes in his collection. Plus a lot of his other palettes do have the cool tone or the warm tone brown neutral shades as well in them. Both palettes are just 9-pan warm tone browns. The darker one just has darker brown shades in it, while the lighter one just has lighter shades. And the shimmers are nothing new. If you actually look at some of his other palettes, which I'll put photos up to compare, they actually look very similar to a lot of the shades he already has, and that also includes the shimmers. The shimmers are nothing special. Like, they look like they are more glittery topper shimmers rather than like full shimmer moments. And if you know me, you know that I love colour, but I do also love some neutral palettes, and I do have them. But I also have some of his other palettes and they have neutral shades in them, so I don't need another full neutral palette moment from him. When I first saw the light or the day side palette, I was like, okay, it's a neutral palette, I guess you can wear it every day, that's great. But I was expecting more from the nighttime one or the dark side palette, and it was boring. And a lot of the mattes all look the same. There's very, very similar shades in that palette, which I'll put a photo up of, because I was like, you know what, there's not much difference with the shade next to each other. And then in that collection, he also did launch some lip oils and 2 pairs of lashes. And I was just like, you know what, this is boring. He has so many lip oils at this stage, nothing too new about them. And then also, he has lashes already, so the fact that he released 2 new styles of lashes when he's got like 4 or 5 different styles already, like everybody has lashes. His lashes are good and his packaging of lashes is great, but I think just me personally and also my friend, we were expecting more for a holiday launch. I was like, you know what, nothing is exciting about this launch. I will still watch the reviews because I do love Manny MUA and I love his palettes and his products, but I was just like, you know what, he could have done better. So we are passing on that. I also did see that P.Louise just posted on TikTok that she didn't realise how many people love her products in Australia, and a lot of people are kind of turned off from buying stuff online from her store, her UK online store, because of the shipping. So she said in 2025 she's going to work hard to get an Australian distributor to distribute and sell her stuff here locally in Australia, and then we don't have to pay those UK prices. So I'm excited about that. I love P.Louise. I'm excited about getting more of her stuff at affordable prices because the shipping is expensive. And also, she's going to work on 3 advent calendars for next year. She's still going to do the big one, but in different packaging, but still good packaging, she said. But because that's so expensive, a lot of people can't buy that. So she's actually doing 2 other advent calendars as well for next year that are more affordable. They won't be as big, but they'll be a lot more affordable for the everyday consumer, which I'm excited for because I love P.Louise products. I love a mystery box, and that is what a Christmas advent calendar basically is. So I'm excited about that for next year. She did say in her TikTok video that she's actually already started working on next year's advent calendars, and she's working on 3. So keep an eye out for that for next year. And then there was a couple launches that I was excited for, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. One being the Cosmic Brushes mystery box. I've watched a lot of people unboxing that, and I was going to get this mystery box. It was going to cost me $80 or $80 for the box, and then probably $30 or $40 in shipping, which is quite expensive for a mystery box. There were 8 items in that mystery box, and there was a full-size palette. They did say there was a full-size palette, and it was going to be exclusive for that mystery box. And now that I've seen the actual palette itself, I'm kind of glad I didn't get the box, because I'm not a huge fan of red eyeshadows. And there's a lot of like cherry red, grungy red tones in that palette. There are some grey, smoky tones as well, which I already have in this palette I'm using. So I didn't really need that palette, and I just knew I would never use the red shimmers or the red mattes out of that palette. And then there were also some lip products as well, which I wasn't a huge fan of the shades. So I'm actually really happy I didn't get that package, because I would have been kind of let down by it. The brand itself I've actually had my eye on, because I really do love their palettes, and I've watched a lot of people review their palettes, and no one's ever said anything bad about the formula. So I do actually want to pick up some of the palettes in the future. They have a purple and green palette, they've got a green palette, and they've got a blue palette, which I kind of want all three. But this palette in the mystery box was something I would not have played with and been too happy to receive. So I'm glad I didn't actually buy that box. I'm just going to quickly go off camera and finish blending the edges, and then I'll be back and we can continue with this look. Alright guys, I am back and I've done the best that I can with the blending. So let's continue with the next shade. I think I'm going to go in with the darker shade, which is the shade Tuxedo. It's not the darkest shade, but it's darker. Actually, no, I think I'll go in with the shade Onyx. This here was the initial shade, but I'm going to go in with this one instead. So we're going to the dark charcoal shade Onyx, and I'm just going to put that in the outer corner on my eye with this Morphe M506 brush, and we're just going to kind of stamp it in and blend as we go. I don't want too much product, because I don't want this shade to fall out on the cheeks, because I've already done my face and my base, and I don't want to have to redo anything later on. So we're just going slowly, just packing it on and blending as I go, ever so slightly. Sometimes if you go too far, it's very hard to clean up because it's such a dark shade, and you just kind of have to start again. So we don't want any of that. We're just going slow and steady, and it's getting there. It's a pretty shade. That's already changed that eye. Compared to this, I can see the difference already. So I've just switched back to this fluffy Morphe brush to kind of help blend out. I don't know if you can see, I've got kind of wrinkly eyelids, and then I've got lines where that black or dark charcoal shade has kind of not been filled in. So now I'm just going in with this Morphe brush and doing my best to try and blend those lines out because of my wrinkly eyelids. So let me quickly do that, and then I will be right back to play with the colours from the Glaminatrix palette. Now I don't think I'll play with the shimmers from the Beauty Bay palette. I think I'm just going to stay with the Glaminatrix one, but you never know with the finished look. So let me just quickly blend out this eye, and then I'll do this eye as well off camera, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so we are back, and yes, I did fill in the grey a little bit too into the inner corner, but I think we can still make it work. We're going to go in with this Glaminatrix palette just here, and I think I'm just going to go in with the shimmer. I don't think I'll put any of the mattes down. I think I might save the mattes for the inner corner part, because I think it's going to look pretty with just a matte inner corner. So I'm going to go in with this shade I don't know how to say that shade, but it's this one here. It's light bluish moment, and we're going to put that in, and it's going to act as a like whitish greyish bluey tone. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. So we'll put that in the inner corner. Oh, Glaminatrix shimmers are outstanding. Outstanding. So pretty. This is going to be like a winter wonderland meets ash from the campfire on the snow kind of vibe look. If you kind of understand what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm making it up as I go, guys, but this shimmer is stunning. And also has like a bit of a reflect of like pink in it and purple, so I like that. I'm going to go in with a clean little brush because my fingers are quite big. I'm going to add the shimmer on with the brush right in the inner part of my eye. Just like that. Oh, that is pretty. Just a soft shimmer. It is a full coverage shimmer, but it is also an eyeshadow topper as well. So you can see where the dark meets. It's kind of changed the actual pigment of the shimmer itself. But where it's still light in the inner corner, it's still like that bright icy blue, which is lovely dovely. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, let's do that with the other side now. Now, I did have a little bit of a patchy moment on the actual eyelid itself with that black shade or dark shade, tuxedo or whatever it is. I've managed to kind of blend it out to where I'm happy with. That's so pretty. And the patchiness I can kind of just cover with this shimmer. Well, that's what I'm hoping for anyway. And it's kind of working. It is kind of working. That's pretty. If you want the shimmer to last all day and you're hooded, I would suggest using a glitter glue primer. But because I'm just staying home today because I've done all my errands for the day, I'm not going to do that because it's just one extra step and I don't want this video to be too long. I might actually go in with a darker shimmer from the actual Beauty Bay palette to put on that outer edge because I think it just needs something more than just a matte to blend those edges together. So let me just quickly finish off with the shimmer, just like that. And then we'll go into this palette because there is this beautiful black glittery shimmer here. It has like particles of silver and other colours in it that I've always wanted to dip my finger in, and I think today is the day. So we're going to put a little bit of that on the tip of my finger, just a little bit. Oh, that is black. Let me swatch that for you. So creamy. Oh, that is very black. But I don't know if you can see the glitter particles in it. It's really pretty. So we're just going to put a little bit of that right on the outer edge, and blend those shimmers and mattes together. Oh, that is changing that Glaminatrix shimmer and really highlighting the pink and the purple in that shimmer. Oh, that's really pretty. I've just put a little bit on and I'm only tapping, I'm not swiping. I'm just tapping it on the outer edge because I don't want it to be like completely black shimmer. I want it just to be a little bit there. If I swipe, it's just going to look like that on the back of my eyelid, and I don't want that. To just tapping as I go. Oh, but it's so pretty. And I think that was a good idea to blend over the dark mattes with this shimmer. That's pretty. Alright, let's do the other eye. I'm happy with that. I've really wanted to play with that shade, and that shade is Nightclub before I forget to tell you. And it's just such a pretty shadow. I'm really happy with the way that is looking. I'm just going to go off camera and do the bottom lash line. I'm not doing anything special for the bottom lash line. I'm just going in with the two matte shades, this one and then this one here, to do the bottom lash line. But I will put in this silver shimmer in the waterline because I think it just needs like a silver shimmer moment. So I'm trying to swatch it on the back of my hand. This is ColourPop shimmer. And I haven't used it before, but it's metallic silver, and I think that will go nicely in the bottom lash line. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly finish off the bottom lash line, put this in the waterline, and come back with probably lashes and lipstick on, just because they are starting to make a lot more noise in the background, and I don't want this video to be too long or too loud at the end. So I'll come back and show you the final result. Alright guys, I am back. Oh, I've got lipstick on my teeth, haven't I? Yeah. Anyway, I am back. This is the final look. I put some gems on. I ended up not going with lashes just because last time I had lashes on, it was just a mission to actually get them on. I think I went through 3 different pairs and I didn't want to have to deal with that today. So this is the final look. I did put the silver in the waterline. It's not really showing up as much as I thought it would, and it's kind of looking gold. Also, my eyes are really bloodshot. I don't know why. Maybe because I haven't had enough sleep and I'm looking into 3 different lights right now. But this is the final look. I actually really like the eyeshadow part of this look. Lipstick is probably the wrong shade for this look, but I don't have like a greyish tone or a cool tone lipstick. I do need to get a couple of those because I do a lot of these types of looks. So that is probably something I could look into come the Black Friday sale time, because I know Melt has some cool tone lipsticks that are really nice, so I might have to look into that. But yeah, this is the final look. I hope you guys like it. If you've got any questions about the palettes or anything I've used on my face, please let me know in the comments. I really love this like greyish bluish toned. And the reason I actually bought this palette was because of that. I love doing a greyish toned look, but then you can add a little pop of colour in the inner corner part of your eye and make it different. So you can do a pink grey smoky tone, you can do a green one, you can do a yellow one, blue one, purple, anything, because the grey tone smoky outer corner works with every different shade. Maybe not brown. Brown maybe, but mostly like colourful shades. So that is why I got this palette, and I'm really happy I did. And the Glaminatrix shimmers are really good. The mattes are good too. This is like almost a pastel kind of palette, so you do have to work with some of the mattes quite a lot because they do tend to shear out over time. So I tend to pack them on and not blend so much, because if you blend, they kind of blend away. I do want to pick up some more of the Glaminatrix palettes, but a lot of them are quite neutral and they sell out really, really quickly. So if I don't have the funds on the day they launch, they're basically sold out. So I just have to wait until I have the funds and a brand new colourful palette launches at the same time, and then I'll pick up the next one. But with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below. Even if it's a love heart emoji, it does help the algorithm. And with that, guys, they are starting to cut some metal by the sounds of it. So this is where I'm going to love and leave you. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. All my love. Bye.